Welcome to the Max Podcast.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Max Podcast. You've got Josh here, Dalton Zimmerman, Brandon and Mike Johnson, J5 Customs, out of Missouri, guys. Welcome. Appreciate you guys coming all the way to Nashville, be a part of the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Where are you guys at in Missouri?
We're at Harrisonville, Missouri. So,
Okay. Like, is that close to Kansas City? Is it?
Yeah, about an hour south of Kansas City.
Okay. Awesome, man. Well, I brought these guys on, and they've been a part of Max for a few years. We took their six-door truck. It's this big six-door blue truck back in 2020 to SEMA, and they've got a shop called J5 Customs. They're doing custom, fab work on suspensions and anything you want. So I thought it was an awesome opportunity to bring them guys on and let them talk about what they do and where they come from and the whole nine. So, again, I appreciate it, guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure. So tell me a little bit about J5. Well, tell me about how J5 even started. Where'd the name come from?
Well, the name came from, honestly, just the family. I've got 4 brothers, and I make 5, and that's been our thing since we were little in sports and school, everything. Everything that we owned, it had a J5 on it, and everybody knew that was us, and so.
That's super cool.
Yeah, instead of writing all the boys' names on their hats or their shirts or their jerseys or whatever, you just put J5 because by the time my oldest had it, and it may make it all the way down to my youngest, but if that ain't my name, I ain't wearing that hat. But if you just put J5, they just know it's ours. So
yeah,
their baseball bats, their footballs.
That's a great idea. That's super cool. You guys made your own name out of your family, right? That's pretty cool. J5.
Own family brand.
Yeah. Just out of the brothers and everything. That's pretty dope. I like that.
And it's been around for long. We raced dirt bikes for a couple of years, and it was J5 Racing, and it was just always this new design of just like, what's it going to be? And
that's super cool.
Yeah, the company's logo has actually changed a few times just in the how long have you been doing this? About 2 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's ever evolving, just like the truck world or anything else. There's always something new coming up, some new design you make. You're like, bro, that's gonna look way good. We got to do this. So.
Yeah. So what made y'all start to get into the truck industry?
Couldn't really tell you. I mean, yeah.
Was your dad?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's been living in Ford truck world for forever, and he's always had a truck, and it's always had a lift or wheels or tires or something. There was always something that just made it not stock, and I really enjoyed that. And so when I graduated and decided I wasn't going to go to college, figured I had to find something that's going to make me money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, make you money. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We spend the money faster than we can make it some days.
I think that's what we do in the truck industry, right?
Yeah,
but I was told that you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
That's true.
100%.
100%. That's accurate. What about in the Jeep world, bro? You're over here with the Jeep, and
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really I'm part of the truck community, with all you guys and my brother and everything, but I've drove a few trucks in my day, all stock trucks, but my brother was the one, he's like the lift, the wheels, and then I was like, I've always wanted a Jeep. Like, but, when I was 18, 19, I was like, I couldn't afford a Jeep. You know what I mean? So finally I bought a Jeep, and now, I got a lift and tires and wheels. So it's like you fit in with the trucks. I mean, most of the trucks, I'm going to say 99.8% of the trucks are probably bigger than my Jeep. Because for a Jeep to be as big as a truck, you got to go pretty big.
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. I love your Jeep. I just love the look of them, and we've thought a few times about cutting the top off the 6-door and making it convertible, but I think the fabrication would be impossible to put it back on in a timely manner.
That would be insane if you
insane.
If you pulled something off like that with a 6-door and no top, like, oh my goodness.
You never know. SEMA 2024. Here we go.
Right.
The way of the world.
I don't know what he's talking about. We're taking it that way this year. So stay tuned.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, so the game plan is we're taking this thing back to SEMA.
Yeah.
The truck looks completely different than what it did in 2020.
Yeah.
Brandon has built this custom one-off suspension for it on air. We're going to continue to make a couple adjustments and changes for SEMA 2023 this year. But to really show what you've done and where you've come from the last couple of years is just amazing, man. And it's awesome to see you guys, our relationship, where if you call me on the phone one day and now we're here and you're taking the company J5 to a whole different level, giving folks an opportunity to take their vehicles to a whole nother level and offering something that a lot of people can't do.
Oh, yeah.
There's good fabricators out there, but I don't think at your age, bro. How old are you?
20.
Yeah, 20 years old, guys. And he's out here killing it and just coming up with some really cool designs and fabricating and putting these trucks together, and it's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
It really is.
I mean, it's hard for me to kind of look at it in any other light than Dad. You know what I mean? Because, like, of course, I've ruined his life. You know what I mean? It'd probably be cheaper if we all did cocaine. You know, with attorney fees and legal fees, it'd probably be cheaper than the path that we've chosen. But the reality is that, you know, I mean, we only believe like our whole world revolves around just ridiculousness. You know what I mean? It's like tell me we can't, and I will show you in 5 minutes how fast we can. And you know, we called you, and I think like late July, and I had no idea. People do not understand what it takes to present a SEMA truck, you know, and to present a well put together SEMA truck, whether it's 15 foot tall or it's slammed on the ground. And so, you know, you were gracious enough to give us an opportunity to do that, and we had actually. My 6-door truck is my own personal dream. That's a testament to our family. It's an example that I'm able to show my 5 sons of how you take a dream and you turn it into a goal, you know, and then turn that goal into a reality. Meet your goal, and we talk about that a lot with my boys. I have 5 of them, and honestly, every one of them has a different outlook on life, but every one of them has taken that kind of mentality and applied it to whatever they're going to do in life, and found success. I mean, my youngest is a freshman, and he's had great opportunities with good coaching and to be a great teammate as a freshman on a varsity level, and a little bit of football time, basketball time, baseball time as a freshman, and I truly give all of that credit to him based on his ability to take in what his brothers have done, what his dad's done, his mom's done, and apply that to the real world, you know. And when you gave us the opportunity to go to SEMA, we had talked to other marketing companies that I'd met in Vegas, and they when I reached out to them after I had the 6-door in place, they said, you know, hey man, your truck's a little old. It's you know, you're a year or two late. And I mean, honestly, I felt like he just came up to me and was like, hey, like, you know, your girlfriend's ugly, you know, your dog's fat or something like that. You know, it just crushed me. And it was probably a year. I think I went to SEMA the next year as a spectator. I've been going since about 2005.
Went out there looking to figure out how we were going to get in.
Yeah, exactly. Because people don't realize how easy, if that's your goal, how easy that goal is to accomplish working with a company like Max that truly has a passion for this stuff, you know. And you know, I'm into lifted trucks, diesel trucks. That's what I like. But the reality is you guys have Jeeps, Broncos, you know, all gas motors, whatever. And whenever I called you and you gave us that opportunity, you actually like re-energized me to find the dream. And he had just graduated high school when we took that in 2020. And of course, it was ridiculous time to try to do it. Probably the hardest year I could ever imagine to take a SEMA truck because of the COVID situation. And you know, I'm sure you were. I'm sure that you were a little skeptical whenever I was like, you know, hey, it's going to be all right. Me and my boy, we're going to build our truck in the garage, and don't you worry, we'll trailer it out there, you know.
And we had gone over so many different thoughts that were probably running through your head about what the shop looked like. It was like, he probably thinks we're just in a barn, you know, with the sides falling down and the dirt floor, just over here, just making do, you know, spray paint and everything.
I remember sending a message to Mike, like, he sent me some photos. He sent me videos of the truck, to how it's going, where it's at, what stages it's in. Just so
I think we held off on that just a little bit, just to, you know.
Did. Well, give me another week, man. Give me another week, and then. But I, after talking to somebody, we know we've done this a little bit. Even though that was our first SEMA that we've offered to clients to take their vehicles there, get them spots and stuff. But when you talk to somebody, you know if they got their head on straight. In most cases, right? Yeah. You know, and I could tell immediately that you guys had a game plan. You knew what you want to do. You're not a rookie at fabricating and doing things. I mean, you've done other things that may not be in the truck industry or directly with the truck industry, but you've done it. You know what I mean? So I think the trust was there, and that's what it's all about. No, you know, and then you guys proved it. You've proved it that listen, we came to the table and we did what we were supposed to do, and you know, and you learn some things too.
Lots of
year,
things.
right? You learn some things. I learned things. Obviously, you know, we all do.
Not to start a SEMA truck in July.
In July.
Biggest lesson learned. Check
Yeah.
that box off.
Well, things happen though, man. You guys pulled it off, and it was an awesome truck, and still is. And now it's a totally different truck now, right?
Yeah, no, it is.
Completely different.
I knew that we were going to be very restricted whenever we took it the first time because of our time crunch and with the SEMA ridiculousness or with the COVID ridiculousness. But I was very frustrated. I honestly, I appreciate that you guys even talked to us because we had worked so many hours straight through SEMA crunch, bro, and then drove straight through to Vegas. And I remember you calling me whenever I was in line to come into the show, and you were like, "Dude, is that your blue truck?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You know, and then we finally pull up, and you're like, "Your truck looks great, thanks." You know,
He was wore out. He's on the road 24 hours
I
straight.
did not care in the world. Just like, where do we park the truck? I'm done. You know, park it, wash it, we're good. And so
Yeah.
I do appreciate you giving me a little grace on that because we were so wore out. That was probably my worst SEMA trip ever in my life because I didn't even want to do anything but just go to bed and sleep. So.
That drive's brutal.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Right, especially after you put in all your time into that, man, and how to get in the truck and drive across the country, and yeah.
Yeah, I knew that we could. I knew we didn't bring that year the best truck that we could bring, and we took a year off from that, and literally the suspension that Brandon built. I mean, I praise him a lot because I'm his dad, you know, but I also have high expectations of what he's going to accomplish, and I literally, we were sitting in the shop and we just brainstormed about, like, what are we going to do that's going to be a little bit different? You know, like, what can we do that not everyone else is doing? Because everybody has, like, the same truck, the same lift, just in a different color for the most part. We're trying to find something that's a little new. We were very happy to work with Carbon Shocks and on their coilovers on bags. You know, that is a really cool setup. The ride is amazing on that truck. And I remember Brandon, you know, he would tell me one time, I'd say, "What about this?" And he looked at me and he goes, "Dad, take a half step back from impossible." And I remember I just absolutely lost my shit. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Impossible? Like, if we're going to make it to the next level, you know?" And I mean, people laugh at us. My buddies all the time. He's like, "Man, y'all got to put cameras in your shops. Like, you guys are like Orange County choppers, you know?" And I said, "I don't know about that."
I mean, a lot of the time it just comes from him missing lunch. You work those long hours in the shop. It's all hot, and it's like 1, 2 o'clock, and it starts getting hangry. And it's like, hey, better go hit lunch. Like, everyone just take a break. You know, let's all go cool off.
Heck yeah.
I have expectations, and I expect them to be met.
Right.
Or not.
No, it's pretty cool though. If you guys had an opportunity, check them out. J5 Customs. The blue truck's changed completely from what it was in 2022 or 2020.
It's not even blue anymore.
Yeah, it's gray, right? What's the color of the wrap that's on there now?
It is dark satin gray.
It reminds me of the gray that we used on our camo on our truck. You guys remember when we did the camo on our truck?
Yeah.
Looks a lot like that. I love that. It's a beautiful color, especially with blue.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. But tell me about you told me that, you know, you guys did the suspension and stuff. It's a custom one-off, coilovers front and rear, right? How big is that truck? What's the size of it?
Too big for my fat ass to get in.
Yeah, I mean, we intended on it to be a little lower than it is. But I mean, once we got it done and it was as big as it is, you know, I look at it and go, I might have gained a truck because it's just about too big for him to get in it. So I mean, like, he can't drive it. Someone's got to.
Right.
I make sure I park out away from everybody so that nobody films me get into it because it's not very graceful. I have to climb up it.
Those are not easy to get into.
We're definitely working on it before we hit the truck show scene.
Yeah. It's probably, I would guess it's probably 20 inches, 22 inches.
Yeah.
And then those bags travel 7 inches, so it's probably somewhere between 18 and 25 inches. I would guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big truck for a 6-door.
Oh, yeah.
Well, first of all, you don't see too many 6-doors.
Yeah.
And if you do, they're not as big as that. Usually put like an 8 to 10 on it, right?
Yeah.
If they do lift them.
Yep.
But this thing's on a custom one-off suspension like you would see on my personal truck.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited, and I know that we're going to be making some changes to it here real soon with different setup. I'm not going to tell you what we're doing, but it's going to be badass.
Oh, it is.
It's going to be super cool.
A couple more hours in the shop.
Yeah, for sure. So what's next, man? You guys are doing all these crazy badass lifts. You know, what's next on the thing? What are you guys working on?
I mean, we've got a couple different projects that we're tossing around the idea. really, we're just trying to get the 6-door done. I got another truck we're building for my little brother for high school
Nice.
because I mean he can't go into the high school parking lot with a stock truck.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you guys are doing this stuff. I mean, he's like, dude, what about me, man?
Yeah.
You're not gonna put me in a little Honda Accord. You're gonna put me in a lifted truck, right? Looking badass.
The worst part is he doesn't have much say in it. We're kind of like, this is what you're getting, you know?
Right.
No, you're going to have, it's all going to be powder coated, you know? And so,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
he gets to pick his colors, but yeah,
With you guys, I'm sure it's gonna look just fine.
yeah, no, we're definitely going to try to let it represent, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So you guys have been to a couple shows recently with the thing, right? You went
Yeah.
to Mother Road Mayhem.
Yep.
How did that go?
It went good. Yeah, we really enjoyed being in the Maxxed booth, and we got top 55 with the 6-door and the hauler truck.
Nice. Yeah, you're doing your hauling truck pretty much to kind of have a whole rig of its own, right? Where you're pulling in the hauling truck kind of matches the big truck, obviously on a smaller level, but same color combination, same thing.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
I'll take full responsibility for the irresponsibleness of the financial situation, but when we took our truck out there, the 6-door at SEMA, and we got to cruise SEMA in an actual SEMA truck, you know, and cruise a strip, and I can't remember what company it was, but they had like, we thought we were there, right? We'd made it, and of course somebody raises the bar, you know, all the time, and they were actually hauling their truck down the strip with like a custom 450 with a gooseneck trailer with their truck on it with all lit up, and I looked over at Brandon, and Brandon was like, all right, next step, you know, and so I feel like that's one of the biggest concerns as the old guy in the industry, you know, if you will. I mean, I guess I'm not really in the industry, but being a part of the truck world is that I get so frustrated with is there's so much hate, you know what I mean? And if you look at any successful business or any successful anything, it honestly comes down to people wanting to see people do better, you know, I want to say, I may not be right, but I want to say that was PSE Diesel or whatever in Houston that had that truck on that trailer. I may be totally wrong, but you know, thank God for that guy for us to drive by and see that and us raise our creativeness, you know, and try to get to that point. And you know, and I think that's one of the things I really beat in him a lot is when we go to shows, because this is kind of our first year on the show scene, that these kids that come and look at the truck, you're going to have the little kids that, you know, go back and post to Instagram negative stuff, but he has had an opportunity to meet a couple of really good guys, and we've surrounded ourselves with some good guys. You know, we have some guys in the town over from us, and they're doing the same kind of stuff we are as far as show trucks and stuff, and it's fun to see other kids that come from other backgrounds, as far as, you know, I mean, not self-employed dads that my boys all work with me every summer, and see them be successful at this stuff. And Nate Hayes has a Dodge. What year's his Dodge?
2015.
Yeah, and I think he's changed it twice since I've known him. Changed the powder coat. A great truck. Kid puts a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, you know. And he's trying to do some lighting stuff and stuff like that. And Jacob Elliott, he's that kid's probably one of my favorites, just because he had a ridiculous 990102 that was lifted up, and it was blue, kind of like my truck was, and then orange under powder coat in the undercarriage, and just to watch those guys, you know, do that same thing, and they're not the ones that are hating too much, you know what I mean? Like they're probably a little more ridiculous than we are with the trash talk in times, but they really are focused on it. And I tell Brandon that, you know, that's one of the things that's important to me is for us as J5 is to not get engaged in that ridiculousness. You know, in any company that is, they will not be successful at.
100%.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what industry that is, truck industry, the real world, whatever, you know. So
yeah, you see so much of that now, right?
Yeah.
You see too much of it. I mean, it's we've talked about this on other podcasts, and I'm glad you bring that up, because it's right now in this truck industry, it's so negative, and it's due to folks like that want to either talk shit about somebody's build or what they're doing, and really what it comes down to, it's all about jealousy, 100%. You know, so yeah. So it's all about the jealousy piece of what it really comes down to. You know, I mean, want everybody to support each other and be a part of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And that's been a hard thing for me is there's been times where I get looked down on for being so young, and like they think it's all just handed to me, and that this 6-door truck is, I just ask my dad for the keys and I'm driving it.
Yeah.
And there was guys that I would talk to and I'd be like, yeah, we got a 6-door truck, we custom full on built it all, and they wouldn't believe me, and then all of a sudden here it comes around the corner and it's like there it is. And
yeah.
And so
Keep doing what you guys are doing, man. As you see, we keep our heads down. We stay out of the drama. We stay out of the stuff that's going on. Because there's going to be people always trying to bring you down, especially when you're doing well, being successful. So that's my advice for you guys: being a new company and trying to do what you're doing. Just keep your heads down and do what you know what's right.
That's
keep
why
the
we're so
noise
proud
away.
to be, Team Max. I mean, honestly, that you set an example that if I can't be there, then I know you guys are setting the right example for him if he's there without me. So I do appreciate that as a dad. I look into that, and that's why we want to be part of you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, Dalton.
You get. So everybody's like, I'm sitting over here as the new guy, right? So obviously, I'm really new to all this. You guys are all talking about SEMA and all this SEMA stuff, and I'm over here like, I have never been to SEMA. So this year I will be at SEMA. I'll be going with Josh, and I'm definitely excited. I've heard so many stories about you got to see some of these builds at SEMA that some of them just take their builds to SEMA. They don't even go to any other shows but SEMA. So I'm definitely excited to go see that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go out the whole 10 days. I don't know if you want me in Vegas.
You don't
for
want
10
Dalton
days.
in 10 days. He'll come back with no money.
Yeah, I'll come back with a trash bag full of
He'll
clothes.
be selling his wheels off his Gladiator bro, I'm on my last bit of money.
I don't know if, it's going to be one of those things. I'm going to have to see how long I'm actually going to go out there. Because 10 days, I've been to Vegas for 6 days, and that was a lot for me. And that's not even including gambling. It just being out there for 6 days in the heat.
Yeah.
And luckily, it's towards the end of the year, so it's not as hot. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to go to SEMA.
You got to hydrate.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
it's a process out there, man.
Definitely got to hydrate. I've been to Vegas probably 8 times.
Yeah.
Longest was 6 days. The shortest was 3.
Yeah.
That's 3 or 4. I'm like, hey, is it time to go home yet? So he said we're going for 10 days. And I was like, oh man, that's a long time.
Yeah. You have to pace yourself. There's no doubt about it. But
Yeah,
when
sure.
you come down, make sure you come down to Fremont Street. We normally stay down there, and they got a couple of great bands, and our favorite is probably Spandex Nation.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Fremont's dope. I
Fremont
love
is
Fremont.
dope.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I can't go down there every night. I mean, I can only handle so much of it.
I'd rather be on Fremont. Most of the time, I'd rather be on Fremont anyway than the main strip
Yeah.
in Vegas, just because Fremont is where people that lived out there their whole life. That's where they go.
Right.
The tourist that's never been to Vegas, it's all on the strip.
Yep.
So Fremont's definitely a better time. You know what I mean?
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah, and you get to people watch, and
People
that's
watching
so
on
much fun.
People watching on Fremont's the bet. You know what I mean? They're all dressed up, costumes, and
Sometimes
don't ever
they're
take
having a good old time out there.
Yeah, don't ever take pictures with them if they ask if you want to take a picture, because they got to pay for that after they take a photo.
Right. That's how they get you. I think that happened to Josh
Just
Wall.
pictures you have to pay for?
Josh Wall got rigged into that. He's like, they're like, hey, come on, take a picture. It's 2 ladies, I think. And they were dressed up as nuns, but, of course, half dressed.
Yeah.
And knowing Josh, he's like, all right, man, I'll take a picture with you. so he runs over there, and he takes a picture, and they're like, that's $20.
Yeah.
He's like, what? I got to pay you to take a picture with you? Like, yeah.
Yeah, at that point, he should have looked at him like, do you not know who I am? Like, do you not know who I literally let you take a picture with me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'll take the $20.
I'll pay you your 20, but you owe me 50.
Right. Oh, jeez, man. That's crazy. Well, I'm pumped about this new build, man. I appreciate you guys coming here and being a part of what we do. Max has grown crazy, and it's because of folks like you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people realize. Like, we started this just under 3 years ago. I worked at UPS for 17 years as a manager there, and I've always been in the cars and trucks and different things. And I saw what was going on in this industry, and when I tried to build my first vehicle, and I had other folks reach out to me and want to be a part of their teams and wanted me to utilize their build service and stuff, and I ended up doing it myself and learning the ropes and building relationships with some of these awesome companies we work with now. And I wouldn't change it a bit, man. Like, we are so fortunate to have the opportunity to be able to come and go as we please, and meet people like you guys. that's probably the most important thing that I can tell you all that from what I do on my side is getting a chance to meet you all, like and meeting so many great people and becoming friends and family, and that's the best part about it. It's not about building the trucks. That's the perk of it, but it's really meeting the people, going and doing things with folks, and like we're doing now. You guys coming in town and hanging out and going, eating some lunch together, and we would have never met each other if we wouldn't do this.
If you would have accepted entertained my crazy idea of trying to build a SEMA truck at the end of July, we never would be sitting here right now.
It's crazy, right? Right? I mean,
it's crazy how many good people you meet along the way.
Like
I'm like super new, right? Like I'm brand new going to shows, and just like the relationships I built by just going to shows with Josh and Christy and the whole all the Max team, like it's insane on how many people I've met just from going to shows and being a part of it.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's what's kind of put us on. We thought we were growing, and then we took one step with Max. And I mean, like we met so many people over the times of just being able to be like, yeah, we're with Max. Like it is so fortunate.
Well, I appreciate that, man. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to open up doors, just not to build your truck and help you take your dream to reality, but we're also trying to open doors for you to work with companies. And if you are a shop, and I don't know how many shops we've helped and tried to help create, business for them,
right.
Push people towards them to help grow them, help them grow their whatever they're trying to do. Either you're trying to make a product or you're just, building vehicles for people, then we're trying to do that. I think if we could all grow together, and that's probably the biggest thing that's not happening right now in this industry is everybody is out there for themselves, right?
Sure.
Like if everyone works together and we all come together and we do this, we can all make money together. Yep. We can all enjoy what we do and be one big happy family. Like seriously, like I am all about like helping everybody. I'm not greedy and not taking the next person with me. I want everybody to come with me.
Well, what's your new Maxxed Off-Road? I know you're about to the Jeep's pretty hard, and then don't you have a street truck?
Yeah, it's the Max Street Team.
Yeah.
A lot of folks don't really know what that is, and we did a launch of it where we weren't really extremely prepared for that just yet because there was a website being built to manage that and help that for folks. We pulled back a little bit from it, but that's actually getting ready to go full-fledged again. So we do have some Max Street Team folks, but we give those folks an opportunity where, say maybe their truck's already built.
Right.
Maybe they've already built it, but they want to be a part of what we do. They want to come to shows. They want to do that, but they also want to maybe add something to their vehicle or change something up. They're going to get a discount on product or a sponsor on product, maybe not as deep as you would as being a full bill management, like we offer our full bill management, but they're going to have an opportunity to get discounts and stuff on parts and be a part of what we do too. That's what the Max Street Team is. So it brings everybody together. The Maxxed Off-Road is going to be a whole new section of Maxxed. Okay, it's totally different than our MaxxedDiesel Maxxed piece. It's all off-road stuff. Jeeps, Broncos, side-by-sides. Same thing as what we do now with the truck community, but it's going to be off-road stuff. So
what you're saying is we should buy some 20s for the 6-door so we can off-road it?
Well, you could do that too. We could jump that thing. And
after SEMA, I'll take it to a mud pit. I ain't playing.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Washing it.
But it's the Maxxed Off-Road piece, and I'm glad you asked because you're going to see it full-fledged here real soon. Here in about 2 weeks, we're going to hit it hard. We've got a few folks working with us as part of the team for the Maxxed Off-Road team that will start pushing. But it's a build management, project management company, the same way as MaxxedDiesel. And with the trucks, we're just doing the off-road piece of it. And all the particulars will come out for that here real soon. But it'll be good.
I think, like I say, I definitely look at everything through a different lens, you know what I mean, than most of the truck guys, just because I love trucks. But that street thing, whenever you came out with that, I was so excited because what we see a lot of in our town, because we live in a small town, I don't even know what our population is, but we're not huge. We have a Walmart though, and we have a couple of Casey's gas stations.
Bigger than my hometown.
Yeah, well, maybe so. But I think that something that I beat this in my kids' heads all the time, is like my first trucks, right? Like I'm super proud of our 6-door. I'm proud of the truck his truck that he built. He has a 2020 F350, but guys, I have a truck that has been to SEMA and is going back to SEMA. But I'm the guy that was plastic dipping my chrome, stock grill and my plastic dipping my bumpers and putting LED pods and doing all that stuff. And it all starts somewhere. And your street scene, that group takes some of these young guys or even older guys, and lets them network with companies that you have, because let's be honest. I mean, not all shops are bad, but some shops, you know, they make stuff unobtainable for a guy that's just starting out, and you guys really help with that, which is, I mean, I'll beat the dead horse to death. It's so much why I'm so proud to be a part of Team Max, and you know, someday I won't be on this earth. That's the way I drive. Maybe it's going to be tomorrow, but I know I'm leaving him in good hands with you guys, and I know that you guys are going nowhere but up with that, because you are tapping into the heart and soul of the truck world. It is not about SEMA builds. That could very well be your end goal. It was mine, right? And of course we did ridiculous. We started out at a SEMA's truck, right? And I told Brandon, I said, I ruined your life, kid. I apologize. I took you straight to the top, and we presented there. We had a very presentable truck, and this year we're taking a truck that we hope breaks the internet. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a little bit older, but it's still
a badass truck.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, and that's exactly what it is. When we first started Maxxed, we were, you know, projecting ourselves, and we still are, the elite of all build management, project management, only the best, right? When it comes to our SEMA stuff and show season stuff, right? But I also seen that, hey, listen, there's another group of folks that don't want to do that, or don't have the budget to do those kind of things. How can we help those folks? You know, and that was the whole part of starting Max Street Team, is so we include everybody. Yes, we still have this section of what we do is the best, and we are going to be the top of the food chain when it comes to that. But we also want to help these other folks get to that point. You know, get them a starting point of where, you know, let them start utilizing our services and save them some money and give them the motivation to do that so that they can build a SEMA truck at some point. You know,
exactly.
That's the whole goal of that Max Street Team, 100%, is to work with them and give them motivation to do better. And if they want to stay where they're at, awesome, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. But if they want to come on and do something bigger, they have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. There's been many times that Brandon and I have talked about, like you go to those shows, right? Like we were just at Mother Road, and there's trucks that kids are driving every day. I say kids just because they're younger than me, but they're driving every single day. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm jealous of that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I wish I could drive my truck every day. You know what I mean? Like, because I love it, but it's like there's so much work that you have to do to clean, to present, to give that truck that you're trying to present to it. You know, and like I think you'll have to correct me on this, but Andrew Lavender, he was part of your show scene, right, with his Bronco, and now isn't he taking that?
Yeah. We started out show season. We're in the process of building the Bronco, and now we're going to take it to SEMA. Yeah, so we're going to take it up a notch.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of folks do that, right? They start out at a certain level, and we get it to either where they're able to do it, and we get it to the level that we think it's SEMA worthy. And we're like, let's go, let's take this thing. Yep. Let's go represent these companies on the highest level. Yeah.
Exactly. Give somebody starting out low and come to it. I mean,
like for sure.
I know that Brandon and I talk about this a lot, about just trying to be there to help out those guys. You know, we try to. I've tried to teach them to give a lot back, you know, to our community, because we live in a small community, and if we give a lot to the community will give a lot back to us, and they have, and I have a contract with our school district, and I think I was told, I think the quote was, is you have an unhealthy obsession with our school district, and I just kind of smiled and said, yeah, I do, you know, like I do, but I see these young people, and I have a lot of them come to work for me, and I have a lot of coaches, principals, and teachers that say, hey, Mike, you know, we want to put this kid with you, and we've got one right now. Kid's awesome. I love him to death. Bob, you're going to meet him. He's coming to Vegas. Hopefully we don't find him naked on top of the stratosphere or something, but but he is starting to like learn ownership, you know, which goes back, and he has a Ford Ranger, and just do that kind of stuff, and you know, it being involved in this stuff helps keep some of those kids out of trouble, and honestly, we just need to, in my opinion, we need to try to help guide them into not acting like idiots all the time. I'm guilty of acting like an idiot myself.
Yeah. Me too.
Been there.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yep.
Brandon never has.
Not yet.
Toaster.
You guys are starting to scare me with all the SEMA stuff, because I'm like, yo, am I going to go to SEMA and then come back and be like, hey, Josh, I have an idea?
You will definitely do that.
I'm definitely happening. And then I'm going to be like, all right, well, let me...
You'll have the idea before you're headed back.
You will, 100%. By the time I'm done with you, bro, before we can get to SEMA, we get to these shows, you're going to be like, all right, man, we got to change this
I mean, I've been to like 3 shows with my Jeep. I love my Jeep. It's my everyday driver, right? I mean, nicest vehicle I've ever owned in my entire life, right? Like, if people always stop and come up, and it's my everyday, right? Some people, like, they see it at shows, and they're like, you drive that every day? I'm like, yes, that's my everyday. Now, what I'm scared about is I've seen other Gladiators. You know, I've seen Kyle's Gladiator on 30s at OBI, and I was like, instantly when I seen his, I was like, that's pretty badass. Like, all right,
like I want to go do that right now.
Do I need to go buy another vehicle for my everyday? Like, nothing
Yes, you
crazy,
do.
and then go ahead and be like,
He
all right,
said yes, you did.
let's start doing something. Let's just start that big process. But I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait, but I'm scared to go to SEMA because I'm like, man, I know exactly where this is going, and you're telling me where it's going, and I already had that in my head. I'm like, oh, we're gonna come back from SEMA, and I'm gonna be like, Josh,
Why wait for next year? We'll just start on it now.
Right. Put on a trailer and take it to J5 and let's get this thing built.
I won't be quite that ambitious as Brandon is to say let's start now. But what I will let you know is that it's very easy to leave Vegas, leave SEMA right in November, and Kansas City. You just stop and drop it off right there in Harrisville, and we'll have it ready for you in a couple of months.
Well, unfortunately for you guys, if I'm coming to Vegas, I am not driving. I will be flying.
Yeah. I'm not driving anymore either. We're flying for sure.
I'm way too old for that.
The drive is horrible.
I've drove it twice, and I drove it twice from Cali, and like that was like 6 years ago. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I can do it anymore.
I wouldn't even want to try to do it.
Yeah,
It'd
rough.
be a 4-day trip for me. I'd stop, about every 7 hours. Like, I'm gonna stay here for a day.
Leave 2 weeks early.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when I get there.
We'll be back in a month.
Yeah, that's a rough drive, man. I'll never do it again. I did it a couple years ago, and that was a brutal trip.
Yeah.
I'll just fly. I'll pay somebody $100.
Yep.
I feel like the drive out there isn't gonna be as bad as the drive back because you're so excited. I mean, unfortunately for you guys were working 24/7 to get the 6-door done. But like, if you already have everything ready to go on the way out there, you're so excited. You're like, yes, we're going to Vegas. It's SEMA, right? But everybody knows when you're going somewhere, you're so excited. But on the way home, it is awful.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I've never admitted this to anyone. Brandon probably figured it out, but he never said it. Like Josh kept saying he was asking for pictures of the truck, and I wouldn't send them to him. I was so scared he'd be like, sorry, bro, that's not going to cut it. And so, like, the whole time out there, I was just worried to death because there was another truck I know that you had to have polished out when it got to Vegas, and I was just like, I was so freaked out. So when we'd left Missouri, and we drove straight through. We stopped somewhere in Colorado, like literally on the side of the road, and slept. And I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I looked in my mirror. I was sleeping in the driver's seat, and there was these guys sitting there looking at my truck. And I just literally put the truck in drive and drove off. And so yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. But I will tell you that is a crazy venture to take driving over the Rocky Mountains.
It definitely is. I never go that way.
Yeah.
Like when we lived in Illinois, we didn't go through Colorado. I'd go down, 40? All the way across.
Yeah, you
That's
go
how I
down
came
to
home.
New Mexico,
So that's how we go. We go down to
Arizona.
New Mexico. It's just, I feel it's safer.
I drove both. I drove on the way out to Cali. I went the southern route, and then coming home from California, I drove through the
Yeah,
Rockies.
maybe at some point we'll drive. I'll take the drive and I'll go through because I heard it's gorgeous.
It's a gorgeous view in the daytime.
But during that
I drove through
year,
the night.
during that time of year, that's when snow starts kicking up there.
Yes,
and-
no, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Alex Coker, one of our guys, I think it was last year, and Preston Lewis, they're all from Illinois, and I think it was the year, it's the year we drove, and we went the southern route, and I was with Josh Wall and all those guys, and we're driving down 40, and I told the guys, man, it'd be worth it just to come down where we're at and just come with us and don't try to cut across and go through Colorado. I heard there's a snowstorm that's going to be hitting. Well, guess what? They got caught in that snowstorm. Preston damn near an anchor about lost it.
Yeah.
Luckily, they didn't. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd take that chance with my rigs and all that, but yeah, that's a shitty drive for sure.
We didn't really have a whole lot of time to think about it.
You just had to get
It was
there
just
as fast as
in
possible.
drive, and all of a sudden we're going.
Yeah.
I remember you calling me and going, hey, listen, because we thought we were going to put in on Saturday, and you were like, hey, listen, I got good news for you. Okay, what is it? You don't have to put it until Monday. Awesome. We definitely need those extra 2 days, And we did, man. We hammered down, and I just told him, I said, hold on, kid, here we go. And we were up the mountain, down the mountain. So,
Yeah. That was awesome, man.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys coming on here, man. Again, it's a pleasure. Thank you for coming from all the way from Missouri to come here to Nashville to jump on board with us and, be a part of this podcast. You guys are doing phenomenal things, man. I'm super proud of both of you. Seriously, from where you come from, dude, it's awesome. You know what I mean? In just a short amount of time, you guys are taking a business to a company and fabricating some things that most people can't do. You know, and a lot of you guys will see that. J5 is doing some cool stuff. Make sure you check out their new build. Making a lot of changes to it for SEMA 2023 to kind of change it up beforehand, but doing a lot of really cool stuff, and especially as a 20-year-old, man, that's pretty badass.
That's insane. Like, I thought you were like 23. So when you said
Yeah,
you're 20
that's
and you're
badass,
doing
man.
what you're doing, like, you're not going to find like maybe a couple other in the whole entire world that are 20 years old fabricating stuff like you do. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
super cool. So everybody give them a follow, look them up, and I appreciate your guys' support.
Appreciate you guys, man, so much we can't even explain it to you.
Cool, awesome, man. That's all we got. Have a good one.